people, how are you all? So, we are back again with another of our reading session, and this time we are doing it in a fun way, and that's what we have titled Two Pages Reading Fun. And we thought that this would be a better way to again revive those anthologies we have done quite a long time ago. And we are starting with our first anthology, Macabre Tales, and some of the authors have joined us today for the reading. So I hope that you will enjoy this session, and I hope that I'm able to continue do this session of doing more of the anthologies in fiction that we have done, because poetry we have been doing the readings on and off. We have done some of the readings. So let me welcome Shri Parna, Moshumi Bhattacharya, Preeti Warrior, and I hope Dr. Paramita is also able to join us today. Hearty welcome to all of you. Anything you wish to say? Let's start with Shivarna.
Uh, Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mona Lisa. You and Chrysanthemum Chronicles have been close to my heart, and I have been very happy with all the ventures that I have been doing with you all. And obviously, Macabre Tales being the first book that I did with all of you is extra special. So thanks for giving me this opportunity and to read one of my stories here. Thanks a lot.
You're sweetly welcome. And Moshumi, what was your experience when you were writing for this first anthology?
Yeah, it was my first anthology, and other than me, I think most of them have written ghost stories. But I that time I was scared to write about ghosts, so I thought to write on something other than ghost stories, and I will be narrating how what actually compelled me or what actually inspired me to write this story. So that will I will tell you later. And it is really very nice always to work with you, Mona Lisa, and with all the great ladies. I'm really fan of Sriparna, Preeti every time, and I really enjoy working with them.
That's lovely to know. It's truly an honor also to have you in most of the anthologies. So Preeti, what was your experience writing for the very first? Because it was also our first from my publishing house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a horror writer. I generally write drama. So this was my first horror anthology, and I really liked the experience a lot. And I guess this was the largest number of words I wrote, also 3,000 words or something. So, but it turned out to be very well. And I mean, I'm very proud of that work. My son happens to be my biggest critic. And this is one story which he loves a lot. I mean, rest of them he often makes fun of me. Yeah, yeah, this, that. But this one he read and actually he said, I love this story. This is very different from what you have written till now. So, I mean, the story is also very close to my heart. And of course, Mona Lisa, Moshumi, Shri Parna, we are all there in the same group, keep tagging each other here and there all the time, keep meeting each other online. So it's good to be among friends. Yeah, nice experience.
Yeah, that's true, Preeti. You're very right that this is how Facebook has brought us together like a family. We are tagging each other, we are supporting and lifting each other up. So that's a wonderful thing. Now let's begin with the reading. I would just request if anyone can just send the. Okay, Dr. Paramita has joined. Okay, okay, good. So we'll just welcome her quickly if she's. I'm able to see her. So yeah, Shriparna, you can please go on with your reading. Firstly, would like you can give a bit of context, what inspired your story, and then you can do the reading.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. So when this anthology was coming up, and I got that Macabre was the theme, so that was very interesting. And as Moushumidi said that she was not very comfortable with horror, and most of us used to write horror. I am very comfortable writing horror, but for this one, I actually thought when the theme is macabre, fear is not only about supernatural. Fear is not only about ghosts. So, and something is more terrifying than the than ghosts, and that is, I believe, is human mind. And That's when I decided to anchor my story in reality and focus my story to a murderer. So it's not the phantom which is fearsome in my story. It is a human being who is living amongst us and creating a havoc. So that has been my idea behind this story, and it got chance to be among all those beautiful stories which was featured in Macabre Tales, and I guess that enhanced its beauty more because when you are with the good company, it enhances the story more. So I'm really thankful to be a part of this one, and I'll read a small portion of that story which came up in the book Macabre Tales. The story is named The Elixir and the Nemesis. I'll give you a bit of start from the beginning only to give you a hint how the story goes. It was late afternoon when the neon blue, vibrant autumn sky slowly turned dark and vengeful. Steaming shrouds of cloud coiled and wreathed. The wind whipped up into a frenzy, and an unearthly, caterwauling sound gave the surrounding an eerie feeling. It was perhaps a keening moment of the carnage that was to follow. A car stopped in front of an abandoned structure. The designs on the broken walls and the swinging gates were a proof that this ruin had seen better days. A person dressed in a suit got down from the car and confidently walked inside the deserted building. The sky had already opened its floodgate by then. There was a rumor that this place was haunted. The local people heard unworldly shrieks and cries from this forsaken ruin many a times. The fear was real, so it was but natural that no one else was around the secluded site during this hour. However, if anyone had chanced upon the backside of this ravaged building, they would have witnessed a beautiful flower garden. Myriad blossoms adorn the well maintained flower beds, currently enjoying the season's first downpour. At that moment, if one listened carefully, one could hear some scuffle and moans amidst the splatter and scrunches of the torrential cloudburst. It was coming from inside the construction. But alas, no one was there to witness that. After some time, as the rain stopped and the cloud gave way to the star studded clear sky, the place was quiet again. Any resistance that was still fighting ceased to exist now. It was hours later, the man came out of the house and drove away. The garden had fresh burial, new flowers in the meantime. The scene moves to a new place now. Hey Jay, where the hell are you? Trying to call you since afternoon. Please call back. It is urgent. And for Christ's sake, start using a mobile phone. The sound of the voice message reverberated within the 500 square foot studio apartment. The haphazardly coordinated home unit was inhabited by the renowned author of the best selling Dr. Paul series, Jaydev Sharma. The caller was Bob. He was Jaydev's literary agent. What could have been so urgent? Jay thought. He hated unnecessary phone calls and small talks. This was the very reason he refused to carry a mobile phone, which in his opinion gave unnecessary power to worthless people to disturb his peace. But Bob was important, so he reluctantly took the call. Where were you the whole day? Asked an exasperated voice from the other side. When I receive the signing amount of writing a book, I prefer working on it rather than spending my time away over prattles on phone. That is my work ethics, unlike, oh, cut the crap, Bob interrupted him mid sentence. I know you are working on the draft and you are in the disturb me not mode, but listen to this. You won't believe what happened. If I won't believe, what is the point of sharing? Oh, Jay, you are impossible. Come to the point, Bob. The famous production house Phantom wants to launch a celluloid version of your Dr. Paul series. One of the producer, Ayan, is absolutely smitten by your created monster. He is an ardent fan of your writing prowess. So much so, he even wants you to be the co-scriptwriter. And the money he is offering is too good. Did he actually read the book? Does he know Dr. Paul is an atrocious psychopath? Well, we have a meeting with him tomorrow at 11 in his office. Ask him yourself. You fixed a meeting without asking me. Yes, I did. Be ready by 10 in the morning. I will pick you up. And Bob hung up the phone. For a few minutes, Jay tried to process what was discussed and then broke into a large grin. Though acting otherwise, he was excited. Movie franchisee on his authored series. At last, destiny was smiling on me, he thought to himself. The fatigue of the day was gradually wearing off with the good news. Jaydev Sharma was a happy man today. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Shriparna. And your story, starts with a twist. And I mean, from the beginning only, creates an environment that's kind of, making us readers curious. So, and the best part is it totally changes what happens in the end. So this is something that really caught my attention as well. So that's why maybe the editors and including me, I chose you.
Thank you.
And if you remember, we did a screening in the beginning. We
Yes,
gave a prompt, and then every writer they had to write for 100 words or 500
something
words.
else.
I don't
Wow,
exactly, yeah. Then
500
we
words.
did some, yeah,
Yeah,
we did some
that was,
evaluation after that.
yes, yes.
Exactly.
Even that writing which I wrote, it was very close to my heart because I wrote about a house that was losing itself because the inhabitants have, deserted it. So the house is there till the inhabitants are there. And I wrote that piece for you for this screening portion, and even that is very close to my heart. So yeah, this was a really great experience. This anthology.
So, but why did not you elaborated on that story only?
It wasn't macabre; it was more dramatic. So I didn't include that in this theme.
Hmm.
But maybe
Right.
someday I will someday elaborate it into a bigger piece.
Definitely, that would be wonderful. So now, let's go to Preeti. I think it's Preeti's turn, if I'm not wrong. What does the content say? Yeah, Preeti. So, Preeti, please tell me what was your inspiration since you said it's very close to your heart and better of all the stories that you've written so far. So, how did the
Yeah.
inspiration?
Because when the prompt came and I was asked, I mean, I was going to write about this, there was an incident in our residential society where a woman, a mother, actually, because just because she was not very happy with the marriage and she was not very happy with the husband. So, with, I mean, I had seen those children also. They used to come at times, they used to visit from America, and two little kids, they would play downstairs with my kid when he was small. And then one of the days, we suddenly come to know that they are not there anymore, none of them. I mean, it was a big shock to the people, residents also, to the family as well, because she had left, in fact, with the children. But so I was like imagining ki what would be the state of that woman. Why would she do that? I mean, first of all, she has parents over here who would take her back, well to do, modern living parents. And then the two kids were really small, like 5 and 2 or something like that. So why would she take a step so drastic in the sense? So that is how I made that story. So it starts, I mean, I tried to build that suspense in the beginning. You never come to know that what has happened, and through the story, by the time she visits with the children to her mother's house, but then you suddenly realize that the parents cannot see her or the children. She's trying to communicate with them, but they cannot because she's already left with them all like that. So, I mean, that is how I made the story. So, it wasn't, as Shriparna said, it wasn't very ghostly, or they are all like spirits, of human beings and behaving like normal human beings. But the story tells you what made her take this step, not only herself, but the kids also, not
Right.
to be left with the man like that. So, that is how the story came. So, then I would read the 2 pages. I will read the first 2 pages. I'm visible,
Okay.
right? Am I visible?
Yes, yes, you're visible, Preeti.
I guess now you have stuck.
Yeah.
Now your screen is stuck, Preeti.
Okay, I mean, I'm reading from the mobile itself. Can I minimize the screen or something? Is it
I don't.
possible that I can?
Okay. Okay. Please do that.
Uh, I'm not sure about that. If the screen.
She left. Uh,
Hmm.
Minimizing, I guess, next to
Yeah. I don't think it works on mobile. Using two app pages in the
the
same time.
similar, yeah, same time.
Hmm. Yeah. CT joined.
Yeah. Mona Lisa, I would just request Maushmi to start with her story. I mean, get back and let Maushmi finish and then I'll do. Is it
Okay.
okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No worries.
Okay.
So Moshumi,
So
yes,
okay.
you were about to tell
Uh,
them context.
okay. As you all know that I was in Arunachal Pradesh and I worked there as a teacher. And I was always interested in something that is occurring or taking place in that state. And that time it was the really a big scam that happened in Arunachal Pradesh. The most prominent civil supplies scam in Arunachal Pradesh, that was the multi-crore public distribution system PDS scam,
Okay.
which came to light around 2004 and involved the alleged siphoning of food grains and money meant for public distribution system. Key figures like former director NN Osik and Chief Minister Gegong Apang, perhaps you heard his name, were implicated. The scam involved issuing of false bills for transportation of food grains and creating a separate bank account uh, for receiving commissions from contractors. Investigations were initiated by a special investigation cell based on a public litigation, and the case eventually saw the conviction of the officials. Those days, as we all know, there was no social media, and hence the whole thing didn't gain much attention from the public all over our country. I was working as a teacher in the government schools of Arunachal Pradesh, and out of curiosity, actually, I followed the news channels or papers that provided the informations, particularly about this case, and therefore I was quite aware of the whole proceedings. As the top rung of the political machinery was involved in the scam, naturally, few incidents came to light which were dreaded and really, really terrifying.
Hmm.
When Macabre tales happened, I first had to Google what Macabre was, what Macabre meant. So that time I found that something grim or gory. So, and I found that this story can go with this theme. And I conceived the plot very loosely, actually, based on this incident. I was aware that the case was handled by the special investigation cell from the center, and they really faced difficulty due to poor communication and non cooperation from the government machinery as well as from the public. There were a few uncanny episodes attached to the incident, and that still sent a shiver down my spine whenever I recall the events, because my husband was from the department and he
Hmm.
really faced difficulties at that time, though he was not involved anywhere.
Hmm.
Though my story is far from the actual facts, actually, to avoid the legal actions, maybe. but I tried to capture a few airy occurrences, making a change in the actual circumstances. So let me read 2 pages from my book.
Sure.
The supply officer was morbidly obese, reclining in a huge executive chair and speaking to someone over the phone. Seeing an unknown person at his door, he abruptly ended his call and tried to straighten himself on his chair. The chair creaked as he moved. Anand somehow compressed his smiles and approached him gently. The supply officer's obsequious behavior was enough for Anand to smell something fall under the carpet. He asked for the sorry. He asked for the PDS operational documents of the district and names of the dealing and distributing agencies. The head clerk brought everything to his desk. It took him almost 2 hours to go through every detail of the files. He interrogated the supply officer and head clerk one by one. It was almost dark when Anand left the office. Next day, Anand asked Inspector Langtung to take him to the hill from where the spot of the helicopter crash could be spied. The gorge was too deep to be discerned properly, surrounded by tall trees. While returning back, Langtung suddenly told him that he was looking for what he was looking for was not easy to unearth. Anand looked at him with curiosity. What do you mean, officer? He asked. When are you returning to Delhi, sir? Longtung tried to change the topic. But why do you feel that my investigations will be fruitless? Anand asked again. We have reached your place, sir. Please take care. Good night. Anand got down from the jeep, still all agog. Longtung smiled a little and then drove away. It was dark all around. Anand was reclining on a rocking chair in the veranda, eyes closed and engrossed in deep thoughts, when one of the boys and Ramesh came running to him and handed over a sealed envelope. Anand looked at them questioningly. A man gave this packet for you, sir. Ramesh was breathless. Packet? What was that? Who was that person? Anand inquired. I couldn't recognize him, sir. It was dark, and he was also wearing a monkey cap. Anand signaled his boys to remain alert. Then he went inside his room and bolted the door. Anand was awed to see photocopies of some important documents carrying detailed information about the PDS distribution system and the huge anomalies involved. He could not believe his eyes when he found that about 70% of the subsidized PDS rice were being sold out in the open markets of the neighboring states, almost at 10 times higher rates. The entire system, from the Ministry of Civil Supplies to the distributing units, were involved in the fraudulent scheme. Something that intrigued him was that the civil supply minister, Tapak Garo, was a resident of Madoliang, the village that he went for. Everything seemed crystal clear to him after going through the documents. The erstwhile DM Mayank Saxena was against these discrepancies and was about to blow up the vicious scam that was eating up the society tacitly. The subsidized rice meant for the poorest of the poor was being drained out somewhere else, involving a huge monetary benefit to a handful of corrupt officials and public leaders. The fight against this misfeasance had a well, had cost a valuable life of an honest civil servant. Anand sighed in exasperation. He instructed his boys to be vigilant and to be ready for anything unpleasant. He was wide awake the whole night. He had to pass a lot of information to the Bureau, but the internet was unsupportive. Thank you.
Oshumi, that was wonderful reading. But I really want to know that did the case actually get solved?
Yeah, it was solved in 2018, and a few officials were arrested and they were convicted. And the chief minister died before that case got solved.
Hmm, right. And when you were writing, did you have to change the names or somehow the plot
Yeah,
somewhere?
yeah.
Because
I even changed the name of the village.
hmm, right, I can understand because this is a sensitive thing that you have written about
Very
it.
sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah. So wonderful, Moshumi, and I hope Preeti is now able to read.
Yeah. Thank you, Mona Lisa. So my story, as I mentioned before, is about a woman who's trying to escape her husband's home with her two little kids. And there was an incident that inspired me to write about this. Ki why would a mother, who would, an angel to her two children, take such a drastic step against her husband? But she did. And so that is what, so I kind of made the incident to a little bit, a macabre, not exactly, but still a spirit and what do you say, Atma kind of story. So the title of the story is Fly With Me, Love. And here's reading the first two pages. Hush! I cover her mouth as tightly as my hands can. The darkness engulfing us helps me know better. She's scared and she longs to be set free. You're choking me. She digs her teeth deep into my palm and makes a desperate attempt to escape my clutches. As if on cue, he pushes me down too and dashes away. But with the lights switched off, they barely make it to the door. I hear them stumbling against the furniture. They scream out loud and I grab the opportunity. I spot them somehow and almost pounce, picking them up each in one hand. They jostle, but to no avail. It's burning hot in here. The stink is intolerable. Please let us go, they plead. Of course, the heat is excruciating. I agree. But this is perhaps my last and only chance to take them away to the world I came from, to a better place. I couldn't let them stay in this hell any longer. A mad inferno inflicted with vicious mudslinging and an all encompassing negativity. Soon, very soon, I whisper, but they carry on with their moans nevertheless. You're evil, reprimanding us all the time, commanding over us. We won't go with you. We are terrified of you. After everything I do for them, this is how they reciprocate. Shut up, I hiss in anger. And that works like magic. They coil in fear, silence for the time being. The eerie silence of the night is suddenly shattered. We hear the main door creak open. We sense footsteps approaching us. I close their mouths tighter and they hold on to me snugly. The footsteps stop, and I hope the owner has returned, not bothering with our hiding place. But then, to my despair, the door to our room clicks open. He switches on the light and looks around. He passes by the cupboard, the one in which we are lodged, and I peep through the small crevice. I see him prowling up and down across the length of the room. He is now positioned at the window with his back to us. I pray against all odds that he retracts and doesn't see us. What astonishes me somehow, he just plonks down the bed, weeping inconsolably. He cries out loud and sounds totally heartbroken. He doesn't seem to be very keen on finding us. Looks like he's already given up. Sanju, Isha, please come back to me. How could I live without you? There's nothing left anymore in my life. My angels, please come back. He wails amidst peals of tearful sobs. Daddy! The little boy shows my hand away and screams, I'm here. She's trying to snatch us away from you. Please hear me, Daddy. I hit my boy hard and he swoons. The girl tries to shout as well, her voice muffled under my grip. Their daddy walks away, fortunately unable to hear them. Little bodies, feeble voices, I scoff. The man switches the lights off, and I hear his footsteps pull back and finally disappear. There's silence again. The main door closes, and I heave a sigh of relief. Isha shed silent tears. Take me to daddy, please. We won't tell on you, we promise. Sanju rubs his eyes. Yes, we will never tell him what you did. You will eventually, you little devils. I don't think he would be returning anytime soon. Come now, hurry up. We have to leave. I bark. We want daddy, they cry in unison. Oh, really? I'm overcome with wrath now. I take you to Disneyland. I cook your favorite dishes. I do your laundry. I take care of you all day. He meets you late in the evening and it's still all him all the time. I can't put up with this nonsense anymore. Come on fast. Chop chop. Out of this hot and stinky living hell. I'm well aware I can't risk it anymore. He could return any time. It's his house after all. One look at their faces and I can see they are frightened, afraid of me. And I'm not complaining. My plan would have never taken shape if I had been a little bit lenient. They obey and make their way to the restroom to clean up before we set out. They call me out loud. What's the matter now? I'm restless. Look at our hands and faces, mummy. They're all black and dirty. No amount of soap washes this away. Your face is black as well. You look ugly and scary. Couldn't you just clean it off too? Aisha demands the answer. It's fine, don't bother. We don't have much time. I drag the unhappy kids out and make a sprint to the door. I hurriedly push them out and close the door behind me. I cast a last glance at the house. I feel like a little tear has pricked me. I'm lost in my memories for some moments, fond, beautiful memories. This home, a handsome gentleman, and two lovely kids. But now here we are, smeared with dreadful images, my temper, the squabbles, and alterations. I wipe the tears away. We are on the streets now, out of the cursed abode. It's late in the evening, and nobody notices us. So we make our way to my mom's home. Thank you.
Very well read and narrated, and it actually, kind of brought a little sorrow to my heart. After listening to the context and also the way you have written, I could actually feel it, that how difficult it would have been. The man is not able to see them. I think you are showing that all of them are dead, I guess.
Dead already, yeah. He's not able to see them. He's returned to a burnt house, but the children have not realized. They are still burning. So they have not realized that they are dead till now. None of them have, actually. But they are dead. And the man is not able to see the children. And they are all suited and black and they are not able to wash themselves. But the
Hmm.
mother has already done the deed. And she's
Hmm.
trying to escape to, to her parents' house. But then they also cannot see her, as you see in the story. And then she realizes what has gone wrong.
Right. So, yeah, that was really a dreadful part you have mentioned, and I really feel very sad to say what has happened. Also, if you have been following news to that lady in Noida, so she was burnt alive. I don't know what's the real thing that has happened, but let's pray that she gets justice if she's not the wrong person, and if the man is not wrong. I mean, truth should come out. So yeah, this now brings me to, because I'm really sad that Paramita is not able to join. She's showing in the studio, but she's not visible somehow. So that brings me to my reading. So I hope you will bear with me for some more minutes, and then we would be able to conclude. So I would give out a little of what inspired my story. So when I brought this concept out, I also had watched this movie called Polar Express. It's an animated movie. If you have seen it, mostly it's broadcasted during Christmas time. So that Polar Express has this golden ticket thing, which every child was getting from the TT, and they had to carry it. And it's a very surreal and dreamy kind of movie. So I wanted to use that golden ticket and train element to my story, and that's how I've titled The Last Train to Earth. And also, most of my stories have a love angle to all of the stories, I guess. So I gave that love angle, and then I wanted to show that why it is last train to earth and why that golden ticket. So a woman who is dead long back, and her soul has been taken by, I'm showing some heaven, higher gods, where she wants to escape from that place to meet her lover, and she takes a woman's body who is also dead. So how the story further unfolds. So I'll read 2 pages. With your permission, I'll start. I'll just quickly find the story. Okay. So the story is titled "The Last Train to Earth." He snatched it from my hand and opened the folded paper. Frida Bano, he read from that paper, staring at my veiled face. I was covered in a burqa from top to toe that I also found near her body. The man asked me to remove the veil from my face to make sure it was the same woman on the paper. I felt numb and scared. The man muttered again, slightly irked, "Ma'am, we have to see the woman in the ID is you. Please remove your veil." I simply shook my head side to side few times and stood rigid. The man observed me for some time with suspicious eyes, then, after thinking for a few minutes, exclaimed in an intensely rough tone, "You are making it difficult for me. I will have to talk to my seniors." He made a gesture with his hand asking me to step out of that queue and made one of his men take me inside a murky. He asked me to sit on one of the chairs inside that murky and wait. I was worried now, with all kind of doubts beginning to rise within my mind. What could be wrong? Why did he stop me from going across the iron gate? I did show him the ID, then why? Suddenly, I recalled that piece of paper that was last in my hand, which read Frida Bano. She has taken the ID of Frida Bano, her bag, her satchel, everything was buried along that woman, Frida Bano, and she has taken over her body. I again picked up the satchel and began to probe inside it with swift hands. I was looking within each zip and found nothing but merely some books of poetry, which I had no use for. I recalled I had left that piece of paper in the hands of that stern officer. Appalled, I lay back on that chair, closed my eyes, and a deep sigh escaped from my mouth. Poor Arun. He must be in such difficulty without me. How must he be coping up with things? He couldn't even find his clothes had I not kept them on the bed, neatly. What about the tea? His day started with the cup of tea I made, and in the night he would sleep on my lap, and how I would keep caressing his hair and lull him to sleep. Thinking about him made my soul cry again, and a tear escaped from the corner of the eye. I was lost in my thoughts when I heard heavy footsteps drawing closer to the murky where I was seated. This made me sit upright and alert on the not so comfortable iron chair. "Who are you, girl? Are you a refugee?" The same question was asked to me that was asked earlier by that officer near the iron gate checking the IDs. I was staring at the face of this aged man, seemingly to be in his 50s, and tried to read his name badge. It read Colonel Vikram Bhanot. He was assisted with the same young officer who had started all this fuss. I was staring at both their faces from behind the veil of my burqa. "Sir, ask her to remove the veil." The young officer pointed his fingers towards me while talking to his senior. The colonel made an eye contact with the officer, then staring back, said to me, "Look, ma'am, it's important for us to see your face for proper identification. After confirming only, we can allow you to go beyond that gate." So beyond that gate, I'm showing that this is a border. I'm not showing the place. You know the reason we cannot, mention easily, because there are always some disputes going on. You must be aware about the gates and borders I'm talking about here. So beyond the gate, there's this place she wants to go and meet her beloved. "Where are you from, and where do you want to go to beyond those gates? Is there someone you wish to meet in particular?" The colonel now asked with a sudden softness in his voice, staring at my fair hands visible from the full length sleeves of my burqa kept over my lap. I immediately nodded in affirmation to the last part of his question. I wanted to meet someone. "Yes, my Arun," I answered back in a mellow voice. The voice was still mine and not Frida's. This made me joyous that Arun will be able to recognize me when I reach him. "I want to meet my husband out there," I replied, pointing my finger towards the direction of those huge wired black gates. So yes, these were the 2 pages, and I'll give out the ending because I don't think now it's I feel trouble to be giving out as it would be a spoiler. So in the end, the somehow her ID doesn't match with the way she tries to convey those officers, and then two lady constables also come, and they somehow find a golden ticket in her pocket. And before she's able to tell them that this is the golden ticket I've got from heaven, and this is only the last train to earth where I can, come and take a human body and meet my lover. That same stunt police officer, he shoots him point blank on her head, and she dies. So she's already a soul. She just leaves the body. I'm sorry, she's trapped in the body, and then when they're burying her, she can only hear the voices they are talking. That the golden ticket says she's coming from Nether. Nether, I hope you are aware. It's called that Patal Lok. So that the man asks the colonel that where is this nether. So then he becomes very worried, and he has a very uh, inquisitive kind of face, and then he says that nether is, I guess, hell. So that's how the story ends. So yes, this was my story, and I hope some of the people will watch this video, this reading later. I hope you also enjoyed this session of two pages reading fun, and I hope I'm able to do more of these. So Shriparna, anything you would like to say?
Of course, this has been a really great experience, and Preeti, Monalisa, you, Moushumi, everyone rates so well. I mean, it was a really thrilling experience to be here, and I think we can do it more often.
Hmm, absolutely. And I was just wondering that, since Ganesh Chaturthi has started, first of all, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to you all and to the
Happy
audience.
Ganesh Chaturthi.
To you.
I was
Same
just
to you.
thinking maybe we should do some anthology on Lord Ganesha, because we have been doing some of the divine anthologies. So it
Yes,
could be
Yeah.
yes.
something different. We haven't
Yes.
done that. So any of you, if you wish to write maybe a prose, maybe like non-fiction, any retelling of already the mythological tales are there. You just have to tweak them and write them in your own way. So if you are interested, I'll soon open the submission gate. So I'll be happy if you
Sure.
submit.
Sure, sure. Sure.
Sure.
Wonderful. Moshumi, you would like to say anything?
Yeah. Actually, whenever I get time, I just read the books that we have authored, and I read the stories, and I really enjoyed today, this evening, hearing you, and also just sharing my experiences regarding relating to this book and my story. So it is a beautiful evening with you all. Thank you.
Exactly. And the best part is when we are writing, we are conversing through mails. So that doesn't bring the essence or what the author's mind was exactly at that point, what inspired them. Now, when we are
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
these sessions live and one-to-one talks, then we get the essence of the context, the proper background, that what inspired you. That kind of even makes it more interesting. Like I wasn't aware
Writing is
about.
more of a lonely process. Writing is more of a lonely
Right.
process. But when we
True.
get to know about the
Hmm.
thoughts behind this, it becomes more interesting.
Exactly.
Very
And these are kind of becoming our documentation of all that we have done, the work so far, and in the future also. So whenever the future
Yes.
generation, they can watch, they can enjoy all these sessions, because on internet it's like forever. So Preeti, also your story was kind of heart touching and warming, because whatever is happening these days, it kind of hit that chord again. So wonderful knowing your context also. That what inspired you. So I hope we are able to meet again through some live session or maybe some reading. And also please support by writing for my publishing house as well. Thank you so much, Sriparna, Preeti, and Moshumi, for joining me today. I had a wonderful time.
thank you,
Wishing you
Manisha.
a great evening ahead.
Thank you
Bye
so
all.
much.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you audience, and this guy G Prep Diaries, भूत भूत बचाओ भाई, बुक खरीद के पढ़. शायद मजे आए तेरे को. And ma'am, there's a lizard behind you. Is having some fun here. Anyways, okay, everybody, audience, please watch the video. Enjoy. Please subscribe. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.